Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I'm not drunk. I am autistic. I am Nera Birch, and today I wanted to talk about decompression because I don't know about you, but right now I had quite the day of meltdowns and burnout, and I'm finally home in my safe little nest. I'm ready to decompress. So decompression is important for everybody, but especially for autistic people. We deal with quite a lot. Us simply existing in a room is more work than most humans put in their entire day. The way we have to process all the sounds around us, the way we process, I don't know, I have a lot of auditory processing problems, for instance. And so, I find it really difficult when there's a lot of loud noises. Like right now, my boyfriend's washing something in the sink. So hopefully you can't hear it. If you can, I deeply apologize. But I don't know, man, that I'm hearing it like he's in the next room over, but I hear it like it's a white water rapid or something that close to my ear. I'm not very good at filtering and processing out noises, and we're constantly in a state of flight or fight. Just, I don't know, it's hard being an autistic. If you're autistic, you get it. But I don't know, it's just, so let me just give a rough description of what happened today, because it was a lot. I had several meltdowns because I was in a situation. I had a meltdown in one of my first public meltdowns since I was a child, and it happened in front of people who I really did not want it to happen in front of. And it was a lot. And I got really burnt out. I've just been feeling a lot of burnout recently in general. I am currently, about a year ago, I left an abusive relationship, and before my abusive relationship, I lived with my abusive parents. I've literally not lived in an environment without terrible trauma and abuse at every second. And so right now I'm kind of dealing with the trauma of healing from all of that, because for the first time in my life, I get to actually process everything that's happened to me. And that in itself hurts just as much as the abuse. It hurts just as much as all the shit I went through. So decompression is just so important, because the thing that, although let's be honest, I do not know what's kept me from snapping at this point. There's been a lot that's happened, and I keep thinking, okay, I have to break eventually. I have to completely just lose my shit eventually, right? And it hasn't happened, knock on wood. But now that I am in this safer environment, I want to be able to take that and make sure that my decompression time is used to, I don't know, maybe get a few spoons back, to use the spoon theory, which is, in case you don't know what that is, it's every person has an amount of spoons that they can use the day. A spoons meaning energy to do tasks, to live life. Some people have a lot of spoons, others people don't. People might have a lot of spoons one day and no spoons another day. Whatever. I personally never have a lot of spoons. A very small event can take a lot out of me, and my decompression time is hopefully what I can use to kind of bounce back from that, to try to give myself, I don't know, a moment's respite. Because here's the thing, we don't even get rest and sleep. We don't, even in sleep, our autistic, I was going to say words, our autistic brain is constantly running and forming new neural pathways, and a lot of us have insomnia. That's such a common trait of autism, because our brains never give us a fucking rest ever. And I don't know about you, but that makes me feel very tightly wound constantly. I can't even get rest and sleep. So I really I am personally right now trying to figure out how to do this as healthily as possible. And so let's talk what do I like to do to decompress personally? Knitting. Love knitting. Let's talk about knitting for a few minutes because I always take a chance to talk about knitting. In case you didn't notice, it's one of my special interests. Knitting helps me decompress so much. It is stimming with a purpose, which is beautiful because I'm going to stim anyways. Might as well make a hat while I'm doing it, It's just doing something with my hands is an absolutely vital component to decompression. Okay, this is a new tactic I've been trying. At the beginning of each day, I write myself kind of like a curriculum, kind of like, I don't know, a school schedule for the day, because I like that. I like the order that it gives me, and it makes me happy, and I like it. So I do things like I have a fashion history podcast I like to listen to. So I'll write down fashion history lecture, or like yesterday I watched a documentary about famous queer icons from the blues era in the 1920s. These just amazing bisexual and lesbian women who were blues singers who just kicked fucking ass. I watched a documentary about them. And so that was I call it a gay history extravaganza for that class. But that's the gist. I like to schedule myself classes so that I know okay, let's say I'm having a really bad day and I'm burnt out. I have a thing that I usually write it the night before or first thing in the morning, because I generally am the best first thing in the morning. I haven't had time to get burnt out yet, although let's be honest, there's been times where I've woken up burnt out. There's been times I've woken up and my anxiety immediately starts running. But for the most part, I usually can come downstairs. I can smoke my morning bowl and write my curriculum and generally be able to think of things I want to do. Because when I'm in the middle of that burnout, when I'm in the middle of that time where the decompression is necessary, but I can't quite reach it, it's been helping me a lot to be able to look down at a sheet and be like, okay, here's an activity we could do. This was something you were excited about this morning. Let's try it. Maybe we'll be excited about it right now. And that's helped me a lot so far. I've only been doing it for a few weeks, I think, but it just makes me happy. And I like writing in notebooks. Notebooks are pretty and I love them. Yeah, so I have a couple YouTubers that I know I can always watch if I need something, and Bob's Burgers is usually a good show that I can pop in no matter what mood. Although one of my biggest sensory issues is the shushing noise, just saying it, that's what caused one of the meltdowns earlier today. Let's just say I am scratching myself. Oh, I gotta stop because I hit myself in the thighs a lot today while having said meltdown. But even though Bob's Burgers has that noise more than any other fucking show I've ever seen in my goddamn life, it's still so comforting. It still is so beautiful. So I know that those are things that just help me decompress and just kind of help me recharge, because I got to go back out in that big scary world sometimes. I don't want to, but it's necessary. If I don't go to the grocery store, I'm not gonna eat. I can't afford fancy schmancy grocery deliveries to my house. One day I may never have to leave my house again. Dream. But one day I can afford to have everything delivered to me by little tiny drones, the drop of a hat. But I have to go out and pretend I'm human and put that mask on. Not to say that if you're autistic, you're not human. I personally identify as a fairy instead of a human. It just feels right to me. I am a magical creature who was put in this realm. I was a changeling. But there's times I have to put on that mask and pretend to be human, pretend to to be a little bit neurotypical and get on with my shit. And the decompression is going to help. Oh my goodness, you know what else helps with my decompression? When my little bitty kitty cat comes and sits in my lap like he's doing right now. That's something that always helps with decompression. Having a fluffy, soft animal, warm animal, just like curl up in your lap. My service dog Cookie used to do it with me. She wasn't a lap dog, but she tried anyways. She sat on that lap anyway with her 40, 50 pounds of chunk. But yeah, just having a plan beforehand. I was trying to think of another rhyme. I was going to say rad, but rad doesn't rhyme with hand. Just trying. Okay, ignore me. Having a list of activities, or even if you have like someone you know you can text and be like, hey, I'm burnt out right now. Talk to me. Like having those things before you get to the crisis situation is always a good idea. Because once you're in the meltdown, once you're in the burnout, chances are you're not going to be able to do anything more than however your burnout or meltdowns present themselves, because we're all different, because every autistic is different. But even though we're all different, I still love all of you, and I think you are a gorgeous, beautiful community, and thank you for listening to me babble for like 15 minutes about autism. It is my dream come true to get to advocate for myself and for other autistic people out there, and to just, my goal is to just give a really honest glimpse inside of this hedge maze of wonder that is my brain. That's good enough. We're going to stop there. All right. Thank you guys so much. Bye.